you're in a situation, it's going to be hard to draft a quarterback.
Why?
Hard? What's hard about it? What's so hard? You know, I've seen a lot of experts and mock draft people and analysts say, yep, it's going to be pretty tough for the Raiders to put themselves in a position to get one of these quarterbacks. No, it's not. All they have to do is trade up. Ever heard of it? Is it going to be difficult to put a lot of picks in the offer? I don't know. How bad do you want Jaden Daniels? Because there is a price for every single pick. If they want to move up, they're going to move up. So why is everyone acting like they're just stuck in no man's land? What are they going to do? Trade away a bunch of draft picks? Yeah, probably. I was browsing on my phone a couple days ago, and this video would have been up earlier, but my channel was just taken down by YouTube for no reason. But I digress. It's back up now. Everything's fine. And I saw someone say Brandon Aiyuk's brother, aka his best friend, brother from another mother, said he's leaving San Francisco. Thanks 49ers for everything. BA to VA, Vegas. And I was like, weird. Not going to put much stock into it, but I'll go down the rabbit hole and see what I find. And then you see that there was a post from his girlfriend during the NFC Championship where she said this might be the last time we play in Levi Stadium because we're not going to be back next year. And then you do some deep dive research into what college he went to and who his quarterback was when he was in college and who his coach was when he was with that quarterback in that college. The college being Arizona State, the coach being Antonio Pierce, and the quarterback being Jaden Daniels. Here's what I'll say. Do I expect Brandon Aiyuk to be on the Las Vegas Raiders in the year 2024? I do not. Do I expect Brandon Aiyuk to be on the Raiders in the year 2025? Hold the stock on that one. My take on this is that it's, it could happen, it might happen, it won't happen, it shouldn't happen, whatever. There's endless possibilities. I would be stupid to say that it's not going to happen because the league is just insane in terms of player movement. You never thought one year this player would be on this team and this would be the quarterback and you would be coached by blah, blah, blah. Did you ever in your wildest dreams think Antonio Pierce would be the head coach going into 2024, and Aiden O'Connell would have been the quarterback to be playing those games? No, a couple years ago, you wouldn't have no idea who Aiden O'Connell is, and Antonio Pierce would be coaching high school football. So to sit here and to tell you, well, it's just not possible in terms of the math and the free agency and the draft. If they want to make it happen, they'll make it happen. And I'll get to my take on if I want this to happen. But all that to say, it is clear that people who have had a history with Antonio Pierce want to play for Antonio Pierce. It is clear that people who don't even have a recent history in the NFL with Antonio Pierce want to play for Antonio Pierce, regardless of if it's even possible to get Brandon Aiyuk on the team. The fact that this is the person he wants to play for, seemingly, I think shows a lot about the guy that's coaching the Las Vegas Raiders right now. And if you need to see any more evidence as to why this guy is a leader of men, go watch Ryan Clark's episode of his podcast, The Pivot or Pivot. It's one of those two. Just type in Antonio Pierce Pivot. It'll come right up. It's an unbelievable discussion he has where he gets super raw and emotional. And I feel like he's the type of person to show those emotions. Something that Josh McDaniels or John Gruden or Dennis Allen or Jack Del Rio wouldn't have done. And I've seen a lot of people say, well, you got Harbaugh, you got Peyton, you got Reed. What are they going to do? And I know we all saw the video of Antonio Pierce going, I feel like it's the other way around. They got to work hard for us. Listen, we could have gone after Jim Harbaugh, taken a big swing, and it might have been able to work. But wouldn't you rather, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, wouldn't you rather find the next Jim Harbaugh than get the Jim Harbaugh that is in his 60s? Antonio Pierce, just from the way he conducts himself in press conferences, has me the most excited of any coach we've ever had. And I was excited when they signed Josh McDaniels. I'm not running from that. I was. A lot of people were. Some people weren't. And those people were right. And I apologize, Dominique. It just seems like this guy has his finger on the pulse of how to get the best out of every single player. Now, schematically, we'll see how it goes. He's got a lot to do with the defense, not a lot to do with the offense. We've talked a lot about Luke Getsy. People are starting to come around on him because they've done an iota of research and figured out that he's actually a pretty good offensive coordinator. Brandon Aiyuk to the Raiders. I've seen people say, well, what if we trade Adams and then get Aiyuk? No, I don't want to do that. I would rather try to get the both. And the reason I say that is because if you're going to have an Aiden O'Connell, a Jaden Daniels, a Drake May, a Michael Penix, a McCarthy, a young buck under center, you need to surround them Brock Purdy style with the most elite talent to give them the best chance. Who was Patrick Mahomes being coached by and throwing to his first year starting? Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Two of the best players in their position to ever grace the football field and to be born and to have lived on God's green earth. Does that inflate Patrick Mahomes' legacy a little bit? That's not for me to discuss. I'm not a Chiefs channel. But the idea that somebody can come into the league with an elite play caller and elite weapons and have that person become a good football player seems to be something that other teams should take into account. So if we draft a quarterback and somehow finesse our way to get Brandon Aiyuk, he clearly wants to come here. That's half the battle. The second half, which is the harder half, is figuring out a way to get him. If we can maybe give the Niners Jacoby Myers and a second or a third, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not a general manager. I'm not an expert in the front office. I'm just telling you, if I was playing Madden, I'd try it. And then you draft a Jaden Daniels, and he's throwing to wide open Devontae and wide open Aiyuk and wide open Michael Mayer and Trey Tucker and maybe you keep Renfro, probably not. But you got people like Jacobs in the backfield and Zamir White and Abdullah, and then you got this thing rocking and rolling, and he's got confidence, and he's running for first downs, and all of a sudden we win the division Lombardi Trophy. A little premature. I get it. What I'll say is this. The fact that you have people like Brandon Aiyuk, blue chippers, all pros, number ones, dogs, Super Bowl appearances, saying, behind closed doors or maybe publicly through this guy, not only do I want to leave San Francisco, but I want to go to Vegas. Not Dallas, not Philly, not Kansas City. I want to play for Antonio Pierce. This guy just lost the Super Bowl. He's devastated. These people that have played in the Super Bowl and lost it would love nothing more than to immediately get back. And if he thinks that Antonio Pierce not only is a good coach, but has the ability to lead men into a war to get to a Super Bowl, that's all I need to hear. If you need any convincing of Antonio Pierce being the right guy, ask Brandon Aiyuk. Some housekeeping things to address. Like I said, YouTube wrongfully took my channel down in the midst of a stream, but it wasn't even a copyright thing. It was they claimed I was impersonating another channel. It was insane. I had to DM YouTube help center. I had to talk to some, person in a chat room to get my channel back up. And of course they were wrong. Who am I impersonating? Brad Pitt? So it's back up. Everything's fine. I lost a couple of days there. Like I said, this video would have been up sooner. I probably would have made a video about the Super Bowl. Whatever. It is what it is. If you're waiting for more Madden videos, here's what I've decided to do. I think the best way forward for the Madden videos, the whole season will be posted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Madden videos week by week, upload them to Patreon. So if you want to see the week by week episodes, they go on Patreon. And then before the draft, I'm going to take the whole season, put it into one video, and upload the whole thing to YouTube. So the whole season will be free on YouTube at some point before the draft, probably right before the draft. But if you want to see it weekly, you got to sign up to Patreon and check it out. You could maybe sign up for 1 week. If you don't like what you're getting, then hop off. It's a very, very, very small fee. It helps support me. It helps support this channel. We're going to make this bigger and better. But if you're not doing that, that's okay. By watching and liking and commenting and subscribing, you're already doing enough. Patreon is just for people who have more that want to give more. If you don't have it or don't want to, don't be obliged. But that's how the Madden videos are going to go from now on. They will be uploaded in one long video on YouTube at some point. Do not worry. I'm not stiffing you guys. I would never do that. Ever. Please be sure to subscribe. It is free after no charge to you. We're trying to hit 5,000. We're so close. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Oh, yeah, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. I want to die.